All right, everyone. I just want to say hello and also let you know that we are here for you. And if you do have questions, if Sharna's not available now, I know it's really weird hours and things like that. But if you're going through your first bookings and if you can't get a hold of your upline or if Sharna's busy, you also have Archer Travel. And we are here. And I wanted to reach out to you guys to let you know, hey, we see you across the pond. So when you need help, just wave your hand or give us a call or send us an email and we'll get this thing going for you. Okay. Today's today's presentation is specifically the part one of the steps of the sale, and I want to introduce you to a couple of elements here. I highly recommend that you grab a piece of paper, a pen, or a pencil to take down some notations. If you want a copy of this PowerPoint, all you need to do is email me at the end of the presentation, and my email address will be there. Again, for senior leaders, the golds, the silvers, the platinums that are building their own teams and using training, this is important. This is one of the first parts of dealing with your clients. Wouldn't you agree, Sharna, on that?
Absolutely, 100%. People really buy from people, don't they?
Yes, they do. And once you start building relationship, we'll get going. Let's go to the next slide. Here we go.
No problem.
Okay, this is going to be how to qualify the right way for 2025. Now, this is important. Like I said, this is the first time you're sitting down and you're meeting and you're talking to the prospective client, and they want to know about a cruise or an all-inclusive resort, or they want to go to Mexico or Spain, etc. Okay. Now, let's go to the next slide. Here's the founding principle of Archer Travel. Sales is a relationship business. If most of you know that Mike Archer, right, Ron's brother, has a sales course here, which we offer for free. Again, it's free. It is really the foundation of your business to take this course. And you can take it at your own leisure. It's in the travel cafe. Sharna can show you where it is, but it's really simple where to take it. But you see this, this is an old photograph. This is Ron's father and mother. That's Cliff Archer by the United sign waving his hand up. And he's the one who started Archer Travel. And his claim to fame was this: he never did business with nobody that he knew. I always do business with people I know. And that business will generate more business for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's social media stuff that you can get out there and promote. That's great too. But once you start building this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next slide. Here are some of the things that are, here we go. Here's some of the things that are covered in my class. What are you selling? What is sales? Selling yourself first. Referrals, anybody else to invite. And that's an important one. Now, if you have any questions in regards to where this course is or anything like that, either email me or call me and we'll get this to you. Let's go to the next slide, please. I know, Sharna, you're going to get in here in a minute. I just want to talk about
Don't
this.
worry, don't worry.
Okay. In Mike's course, he talks about this upside down triangle. And this is pretty much like the steps of the sale, the process, sales time management. Establish a relationship. You're sitting down, you're meeting for the first time, and then you're going to ask the questions. That's what this is: qualifying the client. It's asking the questions. Okay. And then you do your research, you present, the quote, whatever, then you make the decision and you move on. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, Mike's class, if you want to attend it live, it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Tuesday, and we just finished lesson number 3. But again, if you want to start at lesson number 1, all those trainings are in your travel cafe, and go in there and find it. It's under new trainings, and you'll see it there. And we always show it. And you guys, listen, you're also, I want to bring this to all of you agents are also invited to see all of our trainings on our Facebook page when we do the morning briefings, or we do the weekly kickoff. Tomorrow we'll be doing the weekly recap where we recap what we did this week. Okay, this week was Exotica week, and you guys book Exotica in the UK. And there was important information in there if you want to do that. And then, come back and review it. If you can't make it to the lives, that's fine. It's always right here on this Facebook page. If you go to the Facebook page at evolutiontravel.com. All right, let's go to the next slide. Here we go. Now we go into it. Okay, Sharna, here you go. You go ahead and take this one.
Okay, brilliant. So Jose's obviously made a lot of good points there, and I will just double check. Obviously I'm sharing my screen, so I've not been able to do anything whilst we're on here, but I am just going to double check whether or not those sorry, Jose, let me just go back. whether these lessons have been uploaded into the UK section of the Travel Cafe as well, or if they're just in the
Yes,
US.
yes, they should be in there. Yes, they should be in there. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, if you go to the travel
S-
for UK. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Jose. So I suppose this follows on really nicely from last week's training as well, where we were talking about open questions, asking the right kind of questions. And really that's all about building that rapport with your customer. You know, you could offer them 500 different options, but if you haven't asked the correct questions, you're never going to get it right. So, as you can see there, don't waste your time or your client's time. They want to be able to trust you. They want to keep coming back to you. And you also need to trust yourself that you have got what this customer, this client has asked for. You want to be able to present to them something that they cannot say no to. And the only way to be able to do that is by using these open questions. Where have they been before? What did they like? What didn't they like? Which cruise line have they been with? You know, it says there which all inclusive. Where have they been in the past? That gives you more of an idea as well of what you guys can compare it to.
Yeah.
And then, as it says down there at the bottom, agent can assist, videos, web links, etc. This has been on all of the trainings that we've had with these suppliers. You can send them the videos, you can send them the brochures, the online brochures, all of that sort of thing. It's there, it's readily available, and just putting your personality across will make that person feel so much more comfortable as well. Would
Now,
you agree there, Jose?
yes, yes, Sharna. But one of the points I want to make about here, especially for new agents, you're excited. You're really excited. And like I'll show you an example. I had a new agent call me the other day, and she's like, "I found them this house in Maui. They were going to Maui. I found them a house." I go, "Well, wait a minute. Do they want a house?" "No, they just want to go to Maui." I go, "It's not your job to find them the house. You haven't properly qualified." And then she in the same call she goes, "Well, they haven't decided Maui or a cruise." And I said, "Stop. Our job, myself and what Sharna has to do is this. We want to make you guys more commission, and we want to make you stop spinning your wheels so much. Because when you spin your wheels, you're working on a booking for 3 weeks." And I'm going, "That's not right." Sharna, you would agree. A booking should be done in at least 2 to 3 days, done, booked, move on.
Absolutely.
We want you to get to the next booking. This is why I'm saying the client ready to book? Now, you can help them if they don't know, well, we do want to do the Mediterranean, or we might do an all-inclusive, or Mallorca, the island. Okay, hold on. Let me send you some videos. Let me show you from YouTube, from what the Art to Travel video library, what we have to help them make that decision. When they're ready to book, then they contact you. But don't be spinning your wheel. "I was up all night looking at," no, no. It should be their job. It would be like if I was the waiter and and I'm waiting on Sharna, and I go, "Here's your chicken." She says, "I didn't order the chicken. I don't want the chicken." "Well, here's your chicken," right? No, they have to be ready. They have to know where they want to go. So make sure, and you can help them with that, but don't go spinning your wheels and wasting hours. Okay, let's go to the next slide. These open-end questions we have for you in the Travel Cafe. It's a tool for you, and I'm going to show you at the end of this presentation where you can download this and have it as a tool. This tool is not meant to be emailed to the client. Here's some more homework for you. Fill this out. You're not building relationship or rapport. Don't cut corners. It's important that the agent gets to know the client and the client gets to know the agent. This builds more business for you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here you go, Sharna. There you go.
So, what is qualifying? It may sound like a very, very straightforward question, but actually, this is where it crosses between the initial "I want to go on holiday" to that all of that rapport has been built, the conversations have been had, and that person is sort of at that next level, that client, whoever it may be, and yourselves as well, have sort of passed into that new level of completing that sale. The rapport's there, the questions have been asked. You know that these guys are ready to book a holiday, actually get some, hand their money over. That is when you know that you have qualified that person. They are ready to hand you some money.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, selling travel. Now, when you sell travel, okay, these are just some tips and some hacks to help you present yourself, be professional from A to Z. Wardrobe, your phone service. Your phone is the most crucial. I'd have to say is probably the strongest pillar in your business is your phone. And I don't know why. Here in the United States, our agents call us. We call them back. Their voicemail box is full, or their voicemail box is not set up, or you're not available. If I'm one of your clients and I'm in Heathrow and I'm going to go to Spain for my holiday, and I need a question and I can't get a hold of you, how many? Am I still going to have that agent? Okay, it's just the proper thing. Know your phone service, your manner. Be knowledgeable. Know what you're talking about, but it's okay if you don't. So let's say the client says, you know what, I want to go to Grand Canyon, and you don't know anything about the Grand Canyon. That's okay, Mr. Client. I'll get that information for you. Like they want to go to Las Vegas and they want to go to the Grand Canyon. You're like, oh, I don't know a lot about the Grand Canyon. So we get that information. Need research the travel request. Offer two choices only. New agents have a tendency to go, oh, I gave them 4 quotes. It's too much. It's too much. Two tops. Remember, they have lives, they have families, they have jobs. There's only so much time they can dedicate to looking through the quotes. Give them two. Need help? Call Archer Travel, work with your upline, get in contact with Sharna, etc. Be prepared to meet the client and present the travel quote. Here's what you asked for. Here it is, Mr. Client. Boom, 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 boom. I got you on the Carnival Panorama at our Long Beach, Easter week, balcony, everything that you wanted. Sound natural in the presentation and listen. Listen to what they say. Listen to what they say. They're asking to check their bucket list. We are genies. We make dreams come true. We make dreams come true. Book the travel and fill out the commission tracking form. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. Here you go. Go ahead, Sharna.
Brilliant. So, beginning your conversation with clients, again, we did kind of touch on this last week, but just keep, to keep referring back to being as open as possible, being yourself, your own personality. You absolutely do have to be able to adapt, but that doesn't mean that you have to change who you are. As soon as a client realizes that you're comfortable, they will also become comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Asking the questions, again, you can see where this is going, the trend here. You can only provide what you have the answers to. So, there's no really such thing as asking too many questions, as long as it isn't, number one, I need to ask you this. Number two, let me ask you this. If it's flowing and it's in conversation, you could still have, for example, sticky notes or something sat around your computer that may give you hints and tips if you don't necessarily have that confidence as of yet. But by just putting it into conversational manner, you will not sound like a robot. You will sound like yourself. You'll have your personality there, and you're getting all of the information out of the customer without sounding like you're just reading from 1 to 10 things that you need to ask them. And that's a really good question there. Why? What is the reason for the vacation, or holiday, as we would call it? And that follows very nicely into the next one, which is listen. And again, do not be afraid to ask the questions. One of the key things that I remember learning, and I genuinely was probably only about 18, is that you could be speaking to Mr. Jones on the phone, and he could be telling you about his perfect holiday and what he wants out of that holiday. Do not be afraid to ask, once you've established, of course, okay, and does Mrs. Jones like to do the same thing when she's on her holiday? Because the chances are one may want to sit around a pool and read a book, and the other one may want to go off to a local marina and go fishing. So ask the reasons of why they're going away, what they like to do, and listen to what's coming back to you. Jose, if I could just ask you, research that you've put down at the bottom there.
Well, this
When
is, go ahead.
Go on, sorry. I was just going to say it may mean two different things because I use it for two different areas.
Okay, well that research is after you've done, okay, and the one before that is also important. And Sharna hit some really good points. The reason for the vacation, ask them because this can help you if it is a vow renewal. Is it an anniversary? Is it, we're going to go visit the grandkids? Is it, our 45th anniversary? You can use that and use that knowledge to put a nice bottle of wine in the cabin or in their room, from your travel advisor. That just makes you look that much better that you're helping them. Now, listen, listen, listen. Then at the end of the process, review, go back and go, okay, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, let me get this right. You want to do a Mediterranean cruise? You want Carnival out of Barcelona? You want to do a 7-nighter? You want balcony? You want the drink package? You want some spa action? You want to do some stuff in the spa, etc. Is that correct? Correct. Boom. Now you go and you research. You find that booking. You go to the websites of the cruise lines, et cetera, the suppliers, vendors, and then you present your quote. So that's the way I was thinking. Is that wrong, Sharna?
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So we slightly touched on this last week. So where you've put review, it's just something that I call like a read back. You are literally reading back what that customer has asked for. It may trigger their memory of something that they've missed, or you've got everything 100% written down of what they want.
Now, I'm going to show you something else here. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And I'm going to show you how you can double your booking. What, Jose? How do I double my booking? Okay, so we're qualifying the client. Here are some of the questions. Number one, the dates must be known. And now, they don't have to be solid. I mean, if they say like March 15th or 16th or 17th, that's okay. But we need to know their travel window when they want to go. Where are they flying from and to the preferred airports. Here in the United States, you get better airfare out of the larger airports than you do the smaller ones. Now that's different in the UK and Europe because you guys have Ryanair and they're like it's pretty easy to fly around there. But usually, and you have to help me on this, Sharna, do you get better fares out of the larger airports like Heathrow? Um, um,
Yes and no. There's been a lot of rumors around flying on a weekday rather than a weekend,
oh,
and Heathrow in comparison to Gatwick, but then they'll throw something in there and all of a sudden Heathrow's getting a brand new terminal, which means that somebody has to pay for that somewhere.
oh. I get it. I get it. All right, as we continue through this list, how many travelers are going to be flying, including children's ages? Be careful here, solo parents. If you've got parents that are divorced with children here in the United States, you need a legal notarized document to present to the airline before you get on the plane that you have the rights to take the child out of state or out of the country. I don't know if that's the same in the United Kingdom, but I'm pretty sure it would be.
It's
But be
not
aware of that.
actually, Jose. Sorry to interrupt. It's not
Oh,
the
you got
same. The only thing to be aware of for us going into some countries that could be similar. So just off the top of my head, Morocco, if you're
oh,
taking a child who has a different surname to you, you would need to get a letter.
a letter. Okay. What time of day do they want to fly? What is priority airfare time or schedule? Travel docs, passports, IDs, etc. Any special need requests? Aunt Mary, who's going on that cruise out of Barcelona, is in a wheelchair, or she needs oxygen, etc. Service animals, etc. And number 7, this is the one where you double this. After you've done the complete thing with them, you've gone through everything you've reviewed. Hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Client? Do you want to invite anybody to go with you on this trip? And they go, of course, the Millers live down the street. We're going on this Carnival cruise out of Barcelona. We're going to go. Let's invite the Millers who play with our kids, and we always do stuff with them. Let's invite the Millers. Now, what has happened is your booking has just doubled by just asking that simple question. Or it may not be the Millers. It would be like, I should invite my brother and his family, etc. It boom. That goes for cruises. That goes for all-inclusive resorts. That goes for any type of travel that you book. Ask them, do you want to invite anybody else to go on this wonderful journey with you? And they'll tell you, yeah. Now you're booking, boom. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here you go. Go ahead, Charn.
Yeah. So with regards to cruises, obviously Your questions will be slightly different. For any cruising experience, it's so straightforward. Have you cruised before? If the answer is no, obviously that will open up other questions. If the answer is yes, who have you cruised with? What did you like? Is there anything you didn't like? Again, asking such a straightforward question. If a perfect example is my nana, if you said to her, have you cruised before? She will say, yes, I've cruised a few times. I cruised with Royal Caribbean and I didn't like them. They were too big. And I cruised with NCL, and that's who I want to go back on a cruise with. You've only asked her one question, and I would hedge my bets, I would put money on it that that would be her response. So there's reasons around asking these questions. It's not just to fill in a section of a form or just to write down somewhere. There is reasons for that. And if they have cruised more than once, do they have a preference? If they've been with different companies, they may have only been with one company and may not want to do it again. That same operator. And again, you can ask the reasons why. It could be that they were too big. It could be that they were too small, too informal, too formal. You know, all of these things, there's tools available for you to be able to really, really clamp down that client. Cabin types, you know, you're going to get some who know straight off the bat exactly what they want. You are also going to get clients who do not know what they want. So, and maybe for you guys watching now, you may not even know either. An ocean view, you may know that that doesn't have a balcony included. You absolutely may not. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have got the tools to be able to research these things even prior to asking our clients. But they are important because they're the difference money wise, they're the difference in knowing that you've selected the correct thing and that you're offering the correct thing. And again, that comes back down to having that trust and that really good rapport between yourself and your client. Dining preferences, again, some will know, some won't know. Some will want freestyle, which is literally go anytime you want. Some people will be more traditional. They'll want the early 6 p.m. They'll want the late 8:30 p.m. All of these things are just you ensuring that you are giving that client everything that they need. I'm going to leave be careful first time cruisers because I want to know the exact reason that Jose's put it in there because I know it'll be for a very good reason. But again, at the bottom, do you want to invite others? And you know, Jose, it's really funny that you've just said that on the last slide because I have my holiday booked for June. Myself, my partner, and my daughter. And now I've also got my dad and his fiance. I've got my auntie, my cousins, and their children coming as well.
See, that
The
and that
question works.
yeah. So it builds you guys. It just does that. Now, be careful, first time cruisers here in the United States. It happens a lot here in the United. I don't know if it happens there in the UK. We get people going. You know what? I want to do a 14 nighter. I want to go from LA. I want to go through the Panama Canal, and I'm going to end up in Fort Lauderdale on Royal Caribbean. Okay, great. Have you ever cruised before? No. Okay. And this has happened. Okay. It was a retired naval officer. He was a
Very
captain in the
friendly
Navy.
man, though, isn't he?
All right. And he wanted to take his wife first time on a cruise. And I said, be careful here. You know, we're talking now, this is an expensive cruise. We're talking 12,000. We're talking a lot of money here. And she got on there and she hated it. She couldn't wait to get off the ship. And she was on there and she was sick and she just hated it. And you have to be careful. Here's how you can build more client rapport is you suggest to the client, you know what, before you do on this 14 nighter, let's find out if you like it. Let's do a 2 or 3 nighter on Princess or Norwegian, or let's do the British Isles. Let's go down to Spain on a 3 nighter from, out of, I forget your ports up there.
Southampton's, you mean?
Yes, and see if you like it. So you already make a booking and you build on that booking. It's okay. You did 3 nights. Now let's do 7 nights. Now let's do 14. Let's try a different cruise line. Now here's something also that Sharna knows about, but this is something else. She mentioned about her Nana likes going on Norwegian Cruise Line. You guys know each time that your clients go on the cruise line, they get registered to get receive reward bonus points each time they cruise on that ship. And they can use that for discounts. They can use it discounting their cruise. They can get, onboard ship credits or et cetera that can go to purchase that cruise. So remember that. And again, do you want to invite others? Oh, that's an easy one. That's a real easy one. Let's go to the next slide. This is about the U.S. stuff here. This is about, again, knowing the proper documentation you need to complete the booking with. Now, again, you guys don't use driver's license so much to fly as much as Sharna was saying that you guys use passports, but you need to have all the legal names of the travelers, date of birth, everything when you start working on the websites for the cruise lines or the all-inclusive resorts. And be careful when someone's name is Bill, but on his passport it's William, or everybody calls him Mike. Well, on the passport it's Mike. Everybody calls her Debbie, but it's Deborah on the passport because that can get you in a real jam. All right, let's go to the next slide.
Just to touch on that as well, Jose.
Sure.
Excuse me. Obviously, we do only use passports. Please try and keep up to date on the government website, just with regards to different validities that are needed for different areas. And that is even more important with cruises.
Uh-oh. Are you still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. That is even more important when it does come to cruises. You'll be very, very surprised doing, for example, a Caribbean cruise, the difference between flying out to Barbados and touching into British Virgin Islands or touching into the ABC Islands.
Is it a Karen?
What was that? Sorry. The difference between touching into the ABC Islands or the British Virgin Islands and things like that, that can change how long you need to have left on your passport. So just ensure that your customers have got plenty.
Okay, here in the United States, what we tell our clients here is that the passports are issued for 10 years, but actually that's not true. The passports are only good for 9 years and 6 months. If you are going to Europe with 9 years and 3 months left on your passport, you will not get entry into the country. It's that simple. They will deny you entry due to the fact that if something happens to you there and you're stuck there, it can be there. You'll have to be
there.
And
then unfortunately, Jose, they've also changed it over here where although you can have your passport renewed with so many months still left on it, they're also taking that. Oh, is that better?
Yeah, well, your passport renewed. Can we repeat that, please?
Yeah, you can renew your passport so many months in advance, but they will not take those extra months into consideration when it comes to the validity that you need for certain countries. Okay. So, yeah, unfortunately, they just like to make it more complicated.
Oh, I know. Let's go to the next slide. I want to talk to you about what we're doing today. That's just let's go to the next one. That's about having your passport ready and all that. And this is something that we're doing in the United States. The State Department here in the United States has just issued a new thing. They're going to have passport fairs across the United States, which doesn't really affect you guys, but they're going to be fairs in community centers and libraries all the way from California through to New Jersey about getting your passport because we have this real ID thing here. But I do want to go to the next slide and the next slide. I want to talk to you about something here. Let's go to the next one. Today at 3 p.m. Pacific time, it will be on this Facebook page. This also affects you guys in the United Kingdom, okay? These travel requirements. Now, here you guys started the ETA. That's for anybody entering into the United Kingdom. That started on January 8th. This is an electronic certification that people going into the UK have to get online, and there's a fee on it, and you have to take a photo, and you have to give them the itinerary and everything. Okay, this same thing's going to happen this summer in the EU, and that affects you if you're going to Spain or Germany or France, etc. If you are going there and spending, holiday in France in July, it will affect you, and you need to get there. They also have an ETA, and we're going to talk about that. Also, if you're coming into the United States, Let's say you have a family out of Manchester who's taking their children to Disney World in Florida. You will also need an ETA, that's called the ESTA, to come into the United States. So it does affect you. These are rulings and things that are happening. I've got all the links, I've got all the fees, but it affects you. It also affects the Mexico agents coming into the United States. And the Mexico agents book a ton of UK, and the Mexico agents book a ton of Spain. When the EU hits, they haven't hit it yet. They're still waiting for a launch date, but they did say this May of 2025 it will be implemented. And if you don't have this electronic travel advisory visa, you will not be able to get on the plane.
So,
So that's why,
Jose, are they changing? Because we already have to do one for America, Canada, Australia,
okay.
from the UK. So, are they changing it slightly?
No, they're not changing it, but they're going to implement it more. So
Ah,
be aware
okay.
of it. If you've got clients that are going, well, Jose, I got clients going out on the Carnival Mardi Gras out of Port Canaveral. They're flying in. Make sure you have this, you guys. I'm going to be providing you with. So it's not just for the U.S. It's also for Mexico agents, EU agents, UK agents. You have to be aware of this, and you need to let your family members, your friends, and clients know about it. It'd be nothing worse. They've saved up all this money to take the kids to Disney World in Florida, and they can't get on the plane because of this thing, and it takes 2 to 3 days. Okay, let's go to the next slide. If you go to your travel cafe, you'll see it there. It's under resources, and it'll say the travel agent's checklist. There it is. You can download it, you can print it, and you use that as a guide to sit down and talk to your clients. Okay? It's in Travel Cafe under resources, clients, checklist qualified. Right click to print it, and do not email it to the client, and it's all right there for you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. If you want a copy of this PowerPoint, all you need to do is email me. Yeah, it's right there, and have that. And if you are a recruiter, a trainer, or someone who's being a sponsor in the program, and you're starting your own training with your agents, these PowerPoints are available for you there. Okay. All right, Sharna, that's it.
Fantastic.
All right, you guys. I'll be checking in with you every couple of weeks, okay? And that way, I really want to get to know you guys. And if you have any questions, work with Sharna and myself, and we'll make it happen for you. I'm Jose Lambert of Arctic Travel Service. I'll see you guys. Okay.
Bye, Jose. Thank you.